Thanks to the support as a channel member, Colin Archer. Well, yesterday didn't exactly go to plan, but remember, the plan for the season wasn't winning the Champions League. It was winning the league, and we've got a chance to win the FA Cup to go with it as well, and end the season with 5 trophies, one of which is the Premier League. That'll do. That would bring our total at Arsenal into the double figures for trophies, I think, if my maths is right, which is not a bad return in, 3 years-ish? Just needs to go to plan today. Hello and welcome to Club 3, part 31 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have an FA Cup semi-final against Manchester United, and then we're away against Liverpool in the Premier League. Since you were last with me, nothing. We've done nothing. I mean, why would we do anything? We're still sad about Lazio. What I've done is waited about 4 days to record the end of this series. I've been holding off because I was so sad about that, but we need to get this done so I can get started on what's next. Very exciting stuff ahead. So this is what the Premier League table looks like. 33 games played, so 5 remaining with 5 points clear of Manchester United as well. They're really the only team who could potentially catch us. We don't have to play them in the league, but we do play Liverpool and Manchester City. We're both going to be tough tests. And of course, Manchester United in an FA Cup semi-final that we want to win because we want to keep my my trophy haul looking impressive as impressive as possible here at Arsenal. If we have a look at my history, it says somewhere on here how many trophies I've won, doesn't it? So yeah, Arsenal stats, 887 days in charge. So what's that? 2.5 years. I have won 9 trophies in my 2.5 years here at Arsenal. For context, I've only won 15 in my career as a whole. There's still 2 more we can win this year, the Premier League and the FA Cup. And at that point, I will have won every competition I've entered, apart from like the league titles along the way, but we don't worry about them. I'm already the 3rd highest ranked English manager of all time. We could end up moving as high as 2nd. The Premier League is the big one, but obviously we want to win the FA Cup as well. And this is the team we're going to put out there for that semi-final against Manchester United. We've got Morao in goal, a back four of Asante, Gabriel, Brand and Timella, Chawalski and Rengifo in midfield, Magno, Miliaccio and Camara supporting Joyce up front. We've got to be favourites for this game. We've been a very good side all season, but we have had the stuffing knocked out of us a little bit by what we've just seen happen against Lazio. 180 minutes of play against a side that aren't going to be winning Serie A. They're not Juventus. We haven't just played against the best team in Italy. We've played against Lazio, and we've gone 2 full games not being able to score a goal against them when we've been so free scoring and so good going forward for such a long time, for pretty much throughout my entire spell here at Arsenal. So hopefully that's not going to be a sign of things to come. Worryingly, when it comes to signs of things to come, Joyce has just picked up an injury, so João Pedro is going to come on up front early on in this game, our club captain, and we've just hit the post. And then United have got lucky there because that's come back off the post, hit their goalkeeper in the back, but gone out for a corner rather than ending up in the back of the net. I think we've all seen a lot of them end up in goals, particularly since the FM21 winter update, which seems to make that particular own goal where it bounces into the back of the goalkeeper. That seems to come up a lot at the moment, and we almost saw another example of it there. Timella with a very odd clearance that Magno just about deals with, and now it's going to be Asante with the throw. Can't find Miliaccio, but it comes to Rengifo, and now Magno, who's got options. Timella was in a lot of space and finds Miliaccio, who in turn gives it to Rengifo. Magno, we just stood there waiting for us to be tackled. Several players there just got the ball, turned their backs to goal and just kept hold of it. It was like watching rugby. They were just turning around and waiting for the maul to come in behind them so they could win possession. And we did win possession, and we got a penalty. And it's an opportunity to go 1-0 up in the FA Cup semi-final. Club captain João Pedro, and it is saved by the Manchester United goalkeeper. And I'm now looking back down at this bench again, thinking Liam Delap's coming on in this second half, because a missed penalty for a striker never bodes well. I know it's been downgraded. The impact of it's been downgraded a little bit in FM21. FM20, I'd be taking him off right now. But certainly still with strikers in FM21, it can still have a real impact on confidence and morale. Although he's still got the little smiley face at the moment, which that's what I'm all about. As long as João Pedro's smiling, it doesn't really matter if we're winning competitions, does it? I'm just here to help João Pedro with his smile. He didn't have a smile when we arrived, but always been smiling a lot over the last year or so as the club captain of arguably the greatest team in Arsenal history, although we absolutely can't call ourselves that if we don't add a Premier League title to this ridiculous run of trophies over the last few years. We've not been able to go invincible. We have picked up a Champions League win. We have to win the league this year to prove we're as good as we know we are. On our day, we're very, very good. I think there's a very good chance that when we do the LOLLUJO Cup at the end of FM21 and I put all of my sides that I've managed this year in the game against each other, I think this Arsenal side are probably going to be an early favourite for that. They're a very good side, but we just need to get back to winning ways and goal-scoring ways. And Rui Camara has finally made the breakthrough. It seems like an absolute age since we've scored a goal. And of course, it was going to be my boy Rui Camara who got the breakthrough when it actually happened. Rengifo plays it through. Camara hits it first time. It's a lovely, calm finish. Manchester United haven't really showed any kind of attacking ambition in this game, but they're Manchester United. They're always going to have the opportunity to hit us where it hurts. And we have got a lot of very tired players. We're only a couple of days off that Lazio game, remember? We've only got 2 substitutions left. So we need to be a little bit careful about how we use them. Kowalski, I think, needs to come off. We're going to bring on Barrow in midfield, swap. And actually, we'll leave Barrow as the playmaker. And then I think we're going to bring off Miliaccio and bring on Pedri. Going for experience both times there. We could have gone for Ben Warren, who is awesome. But at the moment, I'm not in this for youth development anymore. I'm in this for cool, calm heads. Barrow and Pedri are Champions League winners. Ben Warren is not. We need that experience, that calmness under pressure to see us over the finish line here against Manchester United, who are still showing absolutely zero ambition. And thankfully, they never did actually try and get back into the game, which is a beautiful thing. We now have an FA Cup final lined up to end the series tomorrow. That will now be the final match of non-league to legend FM21 at Wembley in an FA Cup final, where hopefully we can secure a domestic treble, unless you include the European Super Cup and the potential to win a 5th trophy as long as we win the league. But to be in that, being with a chance of winning the league, we've got to keep winning in the league. So let's go and beat Liverpool now and hopefully pull out a little bit further ahead of Manchester United, who on that performance don't look like they're up for it. A week of rest under their belts means minimal changes needed for the Liverpool game. Then Pedro does have to come in up front because of the injury to Joyce, who should be back again soon enough. Rashevsky and Remy both still injured, so we're continuing with centre-backs out at full-back as well, which is not ideal. But, you know, they were both signed to play there initially and just kind of forced their way in as centre-backs. But hopefully Pedro can rediscover his goal-scoring form. If not, Liam Delap is forever lurking, but has just not. I mean, I hold my hands up. I ruined Liam Delap. And I hope whoever takes over as the next manager either cuts him loose or goes with him. I mean, Joyce isn't going to be here next year. So chances are Delap is going to slot into that striker role that he had last year before we brought in Joyce, who scored all of the goals for us this year. But yeah, probably didn't need Joyce. But then Joyce has scored the goals that could end up winning us the Premier League, as you've just seen, because of games in hand played, and in fact an extra game played by Manchester United. They are now currently top of the Premier League again because of that absurd goal difference that they've got. Bearing in mind how little ambition they played with against us, it does seem mad that they have such a good goal difference, because they didn't look like they were even trying to score goals against us. But as it stands right now, they've played one extra game, level on points with us, and ahead on goals. But João Pedro is in. There's a 16th goal of the season for him. It's a big assist from Camara, who gets onto the end of the free kick. But he got onto the edge of a free kick. That's a footballing thing, I think. Camara, wayward header, but Pedro is. I mean, the two of them will discuss that and decide it was deliberately headed towards Pedro so that he could nod home. So Manchester United defeated Wolves earlier on today, and we have a game in hand on them after this as well. So if we can pick up this victory against Liverpool and then win our game in hand, we are going to be in a very, very strong position as we go into those final 4 games. Kowalski wins the ball back, then keeps the ball in. He's slotted in at left back currently and doesn't look out of place there at all. Maybe we have a new left back superstar. Pedro is absolutely no attempt to win the ball in the air there. When you play Delap or Joyce. At least they try and look like a centre forward. João Pedro absolutely never has been one. We've known that for as long as we've been here. He's a very, very ridiculously talented, skillful player. He is not a centre forward. He just doesn't do centre forward things. But Parrott is in for Liverpool here and has grabbed an equaliser. And I should probably call it on the title celebrations right now, as Liverpool are a good side and we can't take anything for granted. I mean, I'd like to think we'd win a game in hand over Manchester United, but it would be nice to get the points on the board. I've said all along, I'd rather have points than games in hand, and we can't be dropping points against anyone, even though this is probably our most challenging game remaining this season, because the Manchester City game that we've got is at home. So this is the last big away game against a top 6 side. But even that being said, we can't afford to lose it. It's the business end of the season. We need to play like we actually want to win the league and not start dropping points now. Manchester United not dropping points away against Wolves, although obviously Liverpool slightly better than Wolves. In fact, United didn't play earlier in the day. They're playing at the same time as us. We're not the... Why did I think we were the evening kickoff? I don't understand. They're playing right now. So we could do with Wolves doing us a favour on that basis. Wolves who... I mean, I was going to say they need the points to stay out of the relegation battle. They ain't in a relegation battle anymore. They don't need the points, but just try and do it for us anyway, please, Wolves. You know, Joyce came through your youth system. All that money you've made from Jack Joyce because I made him good by taking him on loan at Posh. You should thank me for that. Magno to Pedro. Pedro plays it into Tomea. On the right-hand side, finds Chowalski. Chowalski back to Tomela again. Miliaccio can't get the shot away. Liam Delap, get out and warm up. You're coming on in a minute. Delap is going to come on at the hour mark. It is the hour mark. It is Liam Delap o'clock. We need him to be the Liam Delap of last season once again. I'm going to stick Pedro out on the left-hand side. We're going to get Delap on up front. My assistant manager says Neo, and I'm just going to laugh in his face. Neo's done nothing to deserve being the man that we go for in this situation. This is the moment for Liam Delap. And we've got to throw. It's Asante to Miliaccio. Why is Asante, our left back, taking the throws on the right-hand side? That feels like a really, really bad idea that I probably should deal with. I ain't going to, though. You know how I roll, and it'll probably directly lead to us conceding a goal that costs us the title. That has to be offside, although Tomela looks like he's playing the guy on all the time. What is Tomela thinking there? Because the rest of the defence is a good 4 or 5 yards further forward than Tomela was. That is some really, really terrible defending. Can we sit? He's so much deeper than everybody else. What is he doing? He's lost his mind, and we need a goal. We are going to get Neo on after all, I think. We're going to bring on Saka on the right. And I think we're going to go 2 up top. And we're going to take off Miliaccio, bring on Omar Neo. We're going 2 up top. He can be a complete forward, can he? You be a complete forward then. And, right. We need goals, boys. Goals are absolutely essential now because that league table, I mean, it's still in our hands, but nowhere near as comfortable in our hands as it was previously. All the other latest scores have changed to some other league. I don't know why. So we don't know what's going on in the Manchester United game. But now we have an opportunity for a breakaway goal. It's Saka, and he's got Delap in loads of space. Liam Delap couldn't get his shot away. It's a very good block from the Liverpool defender. We need better than that from you. From all of you, we need better. Right, we're going to just throw players forward now. We're going 3 up top. If I can... This is the most... I think possibly the most annoying thing about Football Manager. When you try and move a player in between a 3 like that and it just doesn't work. Right, you are going to do that. You are going to do that. And then if we got someone who can go up on the left, Tomela can go up on the left and we can go to a back 3. See? Logic. Oh, and it's happening again. It's so annoying. And then he can be in there. Libero, you say? Yes, a libero. Absolutely a libero. And then there's not really any point in pushing either of these two further forward. I guess we can make him go on support like that. But we're going for it. We need an equaliser. Come on, boys. There's got to be an equaliser in us. Oh, it's Liverpool with a corner. This is not acceptable. How is Trent Alexander-Arnold still playing football? He must be 1,000 years old. João Pedro with the breakaway. Plays it forward to Omar Neo, who is in and misses. Rubbish. What an awful footballer. What a terrible signing he was. Oh, come on. There's got to be a goal in us somewhere. We've thrown everything forward. And it's Liverpool again with possession. There's 4 minutes of added time after this. And we've conceded again. We like tension. We like making things look harder than they need to be. And that is exactly what's going on here, because this is going to make this run-in tense, which is going to mean a tense episode tomorrow. I had hoped that tomorrow's episode would be the game where we win the league and the FA Cup final. As it is, hopefully it'll still be that. We'll be back for whatever game ends up looking like it's going to be a decider one way or the other in the league. If we end this season just with all of the cups apart from the Champions League, it'll be the most Arsenal season ever, and it'll feel fair enough, actually, as a way to end the series. But rather than having the comedy outcome, I'd rather just win our last 4 games and win the Premier League, because it is still in our hands. If we win our next 4 games, we are champions. So we'll be back. It might even be for that final day of the season against Wolves, and then the FA Cup final. We might end up coming back a little bit earlier if things can be decided one way or the other before then. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.